It's a super exciting surprise new car day. We're hopping into the pink MSRT Transit to head a few hours down the motorway towards Bristol to pull back the covers on a brand new Shmeemobile, a car that neither you nor I saw coming. My collection has always been about variety, from crazy supercars and hypercars to fun hot hatches for the lanes and mixing in daily drivers amongst them. Well, today's edition is not only something different, but also a really brave colour that I hope I won't regret. Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel. We've got a few hours on the road ahead of us. Let's get on with the drive and see what you think. Over Christmas, I've been running the Purosangue. That thing is so nice, but there have been a few different changes and things around here. So the P1 from Richard, Challenge of the Road, was delivered, arrived. I cannot believe that car is here at the garage. There are, however, a few of mine that are missing, and we're going to have the return very soon of the Shmuseum channel, so keep your eyes out for that. We'll have the GT Black series and where that's been, obviously the Ford GT returning from the US. But today's new car, I've got to confess, is quite a last-minute thing, but it is the first of 4 new cars in the next 2 months. I can't believe that's happening. I should probably sell 1 or 2. But today's plan is, of course, to take the pink van. I don't want to show you the plates for the new car yet, because it might reveal too much. This is our team car. It stands out. It's bright. It's bold. And that's a bit the theme that we're going with today when it comes to bright and bold. And links to other things, all shall be revealed. Let's pull this out though, get ready for today's journey, get cracking on, because it's quite a long way from here, and I'm quite excited about this, because sometimes it's the really random, spontaneous stuff that turns out to be super fun. So let's do this. As Brad pulls the pink van forwards, which of course has been with us for a short while now, love that thing. There have been a few new arrivals in the collection this year. We had the Abarth, the Ferrari Dealer Edition 500, the special number 200 of 200. The Ferrari Roma Spider, of course, was back in summer. Hard to believe that's already 6 months old. And at the very start of the year, it was the 914, which will be back from Yorkshire Car Restoration in not too long. So it's been a quieter year compared to some of the previous ones, but it's about to get pretty hectic. And we need to get the garage door open to pull this out ready for the journey ahead. I'm going to quickly state white wheel problems. They get mighty dirty in the winter. In fact, this thing's not exactly clean either. Actually, it's not too bad, but it's getting here. Brad's opening the bollards. Get this drive underway in a second. Well, it is beautiful weather, hey? Nice and foggy. England in winter. Perfect for new car collection day. Kind of looks a little bit ominous looking out through the trees. But alas, these things we cannot control. We've got a couple of hours around the motorway. It's going to be about 2 or 3 hours from here. So yeah, onwards. I wouldn't really have expected me to say this before, but we have the dash cam in here. In fact, a couple of the cars have dash cams in, and it's something that I think is becoming more and more important. With everybody else out there being very unpredictable and all over the place these days, you just kind of want that backup. So I'm really thinking about putting them in more of the daily Shmeemobiles, more of the cars in the collection, for the extra security and protection. Well, this is odd. Some kind of mystery traffic that Waze doesn't know about. Oh, it does now. It literally just popped up as we were pointing at the screen. Uh-oh. Look at that lane discipline. 2 empty lanes. Well done, folks, well done. Over there, behind the trees, you'll have to take my word for it, is the Ferrari dealership in Swindon. That is Dick Lovett Ferrari. That's not where we're going. Nor is the Porsche dealership next door. No, but it will connect to something this way. I'm going to preface this collection with the fact that I didn't choose the spec for this car. It is a brand new car with, I think, 12 miles on the clock, but I didn't spec it. It's quite unusual. It has very few options on it, I will admit, and it's a really out there colour. In fact, out there colour scheme, which you're going to see quite shortly. Now, I don't know what I'm going to think in person. I've made some comments about this colour before, in fact, but I do like things that are, as we Brits would say, interesting, because they're different, because they stand out for many different reasons, and I think this ticks that box pretty well, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've not even seen the car yet myself. Today is the first time. It is super spontaneous. Audi dealership over there. Fair play on the Christmas wrapping with the bow around the front of the showroom. I think we're basically in car dealer alley. There's a bunch of stuff around. Onwards, what's up here? Next is Mercedes. G-Wagon. No, we're not going to Mercedes today. Oh, look, we've got Bentley, Lotus and Lamborghini and Maserati and a load more. Although, where we're going is here, not Aston Martin, BMW. We are today at the BMW dealership. I can't see yet what we're here for, but it might be awaiting us somewhere. Oh, it's probably under the cover in the handover bay, but we are here at Dick Lovett BMW in Bristol for a BMW collection day. It's been a number of years since my last M car, but I spot 2 handover bays. I'm not sure which is mine yet, but it is going to be one of those right in front of us. Bring it on. I'm not even sure right now, but certainly something in there. Got an XM, got an M3 Touring, the plate on that, the colour on that. Let's go in and go say hello. Before we get to pulling the cover back on my car, I want to show you the lineup behind me here, which starts with an M2 LCI in Java Green. That is a really cool colour. It's making quite the comeback. It's got the track seats and things in there as well. Frozen Tanzanite Blue on the Touring here. Again, another very cool, unique colour. This is stunning. The 840 Grand Coupe in Purple Silk. Come past Isle of Man Green here. That's the same colour I used to have on my G80 M3. I think it's a lovely shade. BMW have actually often done some really nice colours. That is a statement. X5M in Signal Green, big car, bright colour, stands out. And then here we've got another G80 on the topic. This is Laguna Green over a red interior, which is quite unusual. Another heritage colour being brought back. So talking bright colours, should we go see what it is? Let's head to the handover room. Come on round here then. This is it. This is the car. You can probably tell what that is. A little bit of a welcome. That's fun, actually. Congratulations on the purchase of your brand new BMW M2 with a little Shmoo cow. So yes, there's an M2 under this cover. I think we should sneak around the front. Come here. The colour. The colour. I've spoken a little bit about this, right? Because I don't think I've ever seen an M2 in this shade at this point. Let me give you a little teaser before we get this fully revealed. Under here, Sao Paulo Yellow on the M2. That is so bright and crazy. Right, cover back. Let's show you the new car. We're here then with James.
Welcome, Tim. Welcome.
It's good to be here. Thank you very much for pulling all of this together. At this point, I still haven't seen it.
Should probably get the colours.
Should we do a reveal? Reveal it to everyone. See the new M2 for the first time in its Sao Paulo Yellow glory. Oh my days.
It's bright.
It's cool, isn't it?
It's good.
You sent me a message. You're like, we've got this car in stock, and I think you're going to like it. And I was immediately kind of like, that colour's quite up my street, isn't it?
It's bright, it's bold, it's loud. So you.
It's so me, I can't believe it. We've gone with the SH74. 74 is the current registration period. Also a little quote on there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. This is it. I have the key then. The key to my new BMW M2. This is the LCI, the Life Cycle Impulse, the facelift, the update. I think it's the first time I've actually seen one of these myself. So the giveaway of the new badges, the black with the chromed outline, but there are very few different options when it comes to this car. It's a really high spec as standard. I think in total, there are only maybe 4 different things that this car actually has that are part of like optional specification, but that's where it was quite an easy decision. I like my bright colours, so the Sao Paulo Yellow was the first of those, right? Something bold, something that stands out. The wheels, the gloss black, are actually the standard option for it. The calipers, the M brakes in red, are an option, so that's the second of our options for this. Then the other 2 are on the inside, so unlock it. Of course, we have keyless on here as well, these kinds of things, all standard equipment. But we've got the new iDrive 8.5, so the LCI has a few updates, things like the red 12 o'clock marker stripe on the steering wheel, but we have the black Vernasca leather with the blue stitching. That's our third option. I think we've still got the films on here to peel off. That's always a special moment, actually, quite a lot of fun. No, I'm going to save that for later. We'll do that one a little bit later on. And then in addition to that, we have the carbon fibre inlays. That is the fourth and final option. Now you will notice we have the auto gearbox, and one of the reasons for this, I went backwards and forwards a little bit on should I have the manual or the auto. My dad has an M2 G87 this generation, in manual. And back about 3 years ago, I drove them back to back, the auto and then the manual. And I actually ended that video saying that I would take the auto. So I stuck with my own words. If that's how I felt at the time, that's what I should go for now. So the car itself, obviously we've got the M mirrors, all of this quite edgy design. In fact, look at the bulge over the top of the straight six up front. We should probably pop that and take a look. The M2's design is pretty edgy to begin with. The squared off shapes, the distinct kidney grills, again, new badging that you have up front, and the openings down towards the bottom. I was a little bit nervous about quite how open this area actually is. That quote, as I mentioned, evoking emotion is my signature, which I thought was quite fun from Frank. He's a great guy. We've met many times over the years, and I needed another new BMW M car in the garage to be able to have this M smile back. From the rear, it's again an aggressive set of styling cues that you have. The taillights here, some people have done different designs with trying to pull them in towards the middle of it. I haven't actually sat in here yet at all myself, so let's come and take a little look at this. We'll need to get it all set up. I've done the payment and that side of things, but inside, the first thing you will see, 20 miles, brand new car, literally brand spanking new. Lots of different lighting and things that we can set up and change in here. I'm currently learning about this. We've set up the app, and I actually love that it has the right spec. Simple detail, but this is all up and running, as it should be. What I had never seen before is that in addition to the normal BMW keys, we also have a card. This is the first BMW I've had with one of these, a digital key. It's like the third key, or? Third key, yeah. So all you have to do is pop that in there. Just a moment, it will read as well. Ah. So, you see on here? Yep, literally just activate that. That's kind of cool. All right, done. Simple as that. Yep, and this says your BMW will appear on linked devices. Connect it, sync your contacts, we'll skip that. Skip messages. My phone will now connect to it, and then we'll take a photo of the QR code. Right, device connected. Right, so you go into your settings. Just wireless Android Auto straight away. There you go, just give it a click. Takes you straight in. Huh, easy. I mean, you can't fault that, can you? That is super simple. Oh, music straight on. We don't want all the addresses and stuff. Turn off the music. That's really easy. And the screen, because obviously this is the new system, right? Yes, latest BMW iDrive system. So obviously you have a newer infotainment driver display in front of you. So all new dials, your revs, how fast you're going. Also loads of different configurable options in the middle. So right now, obviously with the sat nav as well, you can see, your G-force reading and things like that as well, your trip computer. So there you go. There will be a lot of fun playing with all of this. So just before you got here as well, I sort of preset M1 and M2 for you as well. So I'll let you. What have you gone for? M1. So wait, hold on. With M1, you can also be able to see it on here. Oh yeah. Okay. So M1, well. A bit of sport, a bit of soft ride. Yep. Comfort for the steering and your brakes. And the integrated brake assist. And press M2, which you'll have to press twice to confirm it. To confirm it. Basically, everything mode. Yeah. Go out and have some fun mode. But you can set that up at any time. Yeah. Little select button there. And it does the, if you press and hold, track thing, right? Yes. Which button is that? Is that the press and hold the M mode button? I need to remember that. I'll have to play with this. Yes, and that's where you can then go into the track mode. You need the engine running before you can turn it on. When we were talking about the options, we had discussed for a little bit a car, and obviously this car became available, and you were like, this is the one for you. It's amazing to me how much this actually has a standard that you didn't need to tick. Absolutely. Being the LCI, I mean, the dead giveaway is the steering wheel. Yeah. It's being flat bottom now with the 12 o'clock marker as well. But it's, comfort access, heads-up display, wireless charging. Really, the only main options for these is the exterior colour. Yeah. Your choice of interior leathers. Yeah. And whether or not you wanted a carbon fibre trim. Maybe a sunroof, bit of carbon, all those different things as well. That's nice. This just pulled in the background while we were taking a look at my M2, and they've kind of given me the key to show you a little bit more of the new M5. Now, jokes aside, of which there have been plenty around the weight of this, and it's 2.5 ton or so curb weight. But this is obviously the flagship M Saloon, and it's an interesting colour scheme, Isle of Man green over Silverstone for the interior, which is the same spec as my M3. I've got to say, that interior, with all the lighting across the dash, that's actually really quite nice. This car's currently being used for some customer test drives and that type of thing. Really, really quite nice. I'd love to get behind the wheel and take one for a drive at some point, learn a little bit more about it. But obviously this is a new BMW key. First time I've seen this key style, which goes with the new M5. Let's hear it then, time to head out. That sounds good. out of the showroom then, here at Dick Lovett BMW in Bristol, comes my new BMW M2. Well, I never. There it is. We have done the final key swap. It's time to hit the road. Of course, I need to set the seat, set all of that, get comfortable, like always with a completely new car. But this isn't a press car, this isn't a loaner, this is my new BMW M2. So let's get ready for this. Although traffic at the moment back home is looking particularly bad, can't do all that much about that other than just get started and have the first drive in the new car. Let's do it. It's time to go then. I've got the very bright pink van beside me. Is Brad going to squeeze through? Here it's these two together, these two colours together. It's colourful, right? Let's depart from here then. First bit of driving in this car. Off we go. My first mile in my M2. Not the first I've driven, of course, but it is the first mile in my own. Obviously it's got that BMW smell, it's got that freshness, completely brand spanking new. I'm looking forward to what's ahead. There's a lot to learn actually. There's a lot of new stuff to take in with this, like new controls, the new tech, new screens, new settings. Obviously we drove past some of the other Dick Lovett dealerships earlier. They also have the motorbike side here. BMW Motorrad. Oh, I like this. I haven't had a new BMW since the G80 M3, and that was what, nearly 4 years ago? It's crazy how time flies. And then Aston Martin is right here. Actually, I'm going to swing in. It's my friend George, who sold me my GT8, works here. If he's in, I'm going to say hello very quickly. A really quick one while we're in the area. Look, nice new Vantages lurking inside. Very, very snazzy. We're back on the road, and the UK being the UK, it's not exactly what you want for a new car day, right? You want the sun to be shining, beautiful weather, lovely day, but alas, it's the middle of winter. Although we are following a new G63, I will mention. There's just something about a brand new car right now. It just feels, I mean, new in every way, state the obvious, right? Completely state the obvious. I've also got my heated steering wheel on. I don't think I pressed the button for that. It's done that automatically, probably because it's said it's 6 degrees Celsius today. It's cold. But hey, we are cruising, we're driving. I'm going to be very boring for a moment though, because it is a brand new car and I will follow the running in procedure. That means no heavy engine braking, no really high revs for the first 1,200 miles. And I know it's boring, but it's for the longevity of the car. It's for keeping it good for the future, right? At the end of the day, if you just bash it out of the box with the wrong oil in it, remember they changed the oil at the running in service at 1,200 miles to something more suited to harder running, it's going to have a problem. So you need to look after these things. It is a little bit boring. We'll try and do it as fast as possible, but certainly for today with the 130 odd miles, gosh, over 3 hours to get back now, that's not looking pretty. We'll just have to embrace it. It's going to be what it's going to be, and we'll just get on the road. Well, keep on the road, get ourselves back home. Pink and lime green. There's something about that van. It would be impossible to replace how legendary that thing is and how much fun we've had with it. It's so cool. Gumball, all sorts of trips. Brad's taken it across Europe as well. It's another occasion. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot to take in. We're now at a grand total of 34 miles. I quite like this view though, with the picture of the M2, at least the back of it. Obviously, you can set that up as you want. Android Auto, we've got the 2 tiles, so music tile and map tile, or you can go full screen, or you can do that. No, that takes you to the menu. Oh, interesting, it keeps the nav open with the menu. It's fun having all of this now. Obviously stuff that didn't exist not that long ago, that just makes it work. That beep when you go 1 mile an hour over the speed limit, I need to set a quick hotkey to disable that. I also like, I don't know if you can see it, but the shift paddles have a red outline for the plus and minus, which is kind of cool. And I think, do they have red back as well, maybe? Can't quite tell, but they've got kind of red glow. Anyway, lots of nice details, lots to learn about it, but just kind of adapting as we go. We also have the Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds really good. I think, again, that used to be part of the tech pack and you now get it for free. It might be foggy, but I wasn't expecting to drive on some actually fairly nice roads, and that's because we've had quite the diversion. Normally from here back towards London, you'd have the M40 motorway the whole way. It said that was like an hour of traffic, so we've ended up on some nice twisty Gloucestershire stuff through the fog, but Little bit of a opportunity to hear a small rumbling of the engine. There is a nice sound to this. And what's really interesting is that this is kind of the European equivalent of the Dark Horse that I have in the US. And I'm going to spend the next 2 and a bit hours thinking a touch more on that, because I want to talk more about it later on when we're back at the barn as well, because I find it quite interesting. Similarly priced, similarly positioned, similar performance, obviously both available manual and auto. We'll get onto more of this later. We've made it back, but I want to show you something here, right? So at the moment, we're in completely normal mode. If I give some very gentle feathers of the throttle, you can hear that's like 2000 RPM. Pretty muted. Go into M1, a little bit louder, like noticeably more aggressive. Go into M2 with our double press, a lot louder, burbling away. That's not even 3000 RPM. And only because we have a warm engine. I'm looking forward to getting a few more miles on this so we can hear it more. Oh, it doesn't one touch up the driver's window. Interesting. I just kind of assumed it would. Well, the M2 is at the Shmuseum. While we're here, this colour is very similar to the GT500. We're not going to get them down right now, but side by side, they must be so close. Not only that, it's also very similar to the lime green accents on the Zenvo, and I never really thought about exactly how close those are to the GT500. Obviously, these are all like straight lime greens. The Clio V6 is metallic, lime green, yellow, so that's a little bit different, but these are all really the same. Something we need to do though, as I mentioned earlier, before we explain why I have bought this car, is, yes, that moment is always insanely satisfying. We also need to touch on the engine, because I can't possibly buy a new car and not come and show you the power plant. Of course, this is your S58, the 3-litre twin-power turbo, inline-6, 480 horsepower, 600 newton meters of torque, 8-speed auto gearbox. And to be honest, the fact that it's still a little bit old school, purely combustion engine, that makes it quite exciting and quite fun and quite nice. So I'm very happy about that. Another thing you might have noticed if you've been super observant, with the plates, yeah, we've got double stacked plates. The reason we've got double stacked plates, you might be able to figure out, is to do with registration. Because this is all quite spontaneous, it's not fully registered yet. This is the plate it will be wearing when it's finalized, and that is all done. So I just want to have it on that for all the photos and things that we're doing today. I'm going to see if I can close this properly, because it needs a kind of slam. Can do it that way? Yes. If you do it too gently with the double latches, you end up looking a fool. That does look pretty good in here. I'm not going to lie. It kind of looks how my dad's looked when it was right here, but in a brighter color, which is more in keeping with the collection. So, why this and Dark Horse? I find this really interesting because, as I mentioned earlier, this is a direct head-to-head competitor with the Mustang Dark Horse. Here in Europe, with the Dark Horse, they're very similarly priced, about £60,000. So to be able to experience both cars and to have done it differently, one being a manual, one being an automatic, is in many ways pointless because they're kind of the same, but the fact that I have them on different continents kind of justifies it. I want to do more driving though to give you more input on this. This feels like the more premium car, certainly the interior, the quality, the fit and finish, the materials, it's a better car. The Dark Horse has a 5-litre naturally aspirated V8, and who can say no to 8 cylinders? So interesting head-to-head. I would love to actually drive them back-to-back, but there's a small matter of about 5,000 miles, well, 4,000 miles between them that makes that impossible. Why this, though? Because you might be thinking, what's the point with all these cars? Truth be told, incredibly good deal, felt like it, spontaneity, been intrigued by these, loved it the first time I drove an M2, just thought, a bit of why not? That's, to be honest, the answer. Bit of why not. Not going to have it forever. Year or two, go with the flow, enjoy driving it, do a few miles with it. We'll get it run in first, then go have some fun and enjoy the experience, because I always like to try these different cars from different manufacturers to know and understand what they're about, because the more of them I've driven and owned and the more of those experiences at the dealership, the more I can communicate with you guys what they're actually like if I've not lived with them. And what better than to stick my own money there and to go and drive it, own it, experience it, and share more of that with you. I think that's it for now. Thank you very much to James and the team at Dick Lovett BMW over in Bristol. Thank you to you guys for watching. And if you like these kinds of cars, check out the video right over here. That's it for this time though. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.